Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Do yourself a favor, hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell, and come join the family. Listen, make sure that all is selected, okay? Make sure that all is selected while subscribing. If you've been with me for a while, go ahead and hit the like button. I'm struggling to talk today, but we got a lot to talk about today. I want you to know that, first of all, this is brought to you by Stock Up You. It will be the top link below. Stock Up You. Stop losing money and learn, okay? Stop jumping out of airplanes and then asking, how do you work this parachute? Let's get right into it. So we got a couple of things that's going to happen today, but also too, I want to let you guys know that the Stock Squad, the four of us, tonight will be live over on Stocks with Josh's page. So come join us, and also too, click the second link below and come join the Stock Squad. All right. So let's talk about a few things. Let me start off with I'm going to get to Tesla and what I'm about to do with Tesla. Remember, anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell, right? So let's look at where things are right now. You know what? You guys need to know this too, that we have a new Speaker of the House, all right? Johnson Swan is the new House Speaker. He just got voted in literally minutes ago at the time of recording this, about 30 minutes ago at the time of recording this, about 40 minutes before closing bell on Wednesday, right? So I want you guys to know that. It has been a yo-yo ride, good people. It's been a yo-yo ride. As we could see, all of the indices are down negative and the NASDAQ is taking a spanking, all right? For those of you that's been playing the cues, if you did a call on the cues, you have been getting spanked today, right? And so that's why earlier in the Discord, I mean, that's horrible. Look at that, almost 2.5% on the NASDAQ. Dow has been vacillating, and it's just been a bad day. And so what do I do on days like this? Like I discussed earlier this morning in the Discord, second link below, I didn't do anything. I didn't trade anything. I cautioned everyone in the Discord to just take it easy. It's Wednesday. To be honest with you, the big boys mostly trade on Mondays and Fridays. Okay, and so sometimes not putting your money at risk is the best trade that you can make. Right. So I want to ask a question. I'm going to go into: are we heading to a higher bounce? At the end, we're going to discuss that. Are we headed for a Christmas rally, or are we headed for a recession? Is the recession coming next year, or will the recession happen in Q4 of this year, which we are in Q4 right now? So you got a lot of talking heads, a lot of guys that have a lot more equipment than me that is saying, yes, the recession is coming fourth quarter. But first, let me get to Tesla right quick. And I just want to show you guys something about Tesla, right? So you guys know I've been buying Tesla, blah, 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 blah. I started dollar cost averaging somewhere around 211-ish and into 212-ish. Let me show you where my phone is. I just snapped this. Now, as you can see right now, excuse me, my average position is at 212. But you can also see that Tesla is at 213, as you could see right there, right? So I took this with, I took a snapshot just a second ago with Webull, okay? So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, but I want to be crystal clear. And remember, anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. You guys just saw me enter into this position. Now, I have a stop loss set on this, but I want to be crystal clear. I say this about 10 to 20 times a year. I have 7 different trading platforms. I know that sounds crazy to some of you guys, but I have 7 different brokers. I have a broker that I do my DCA regardless of how high or how low a stock is, right? And that is not the one that I show you guys. My Webull is the one that I show you guys. Now, the Tesla position I entered into Webull, I was into just in case we have a rebound towards the end of the year, Q4. So that's why I bought that Tesla. So what I'm going to do is keep my stop loss set to where I'm almost even right now at this point. As you can see, it's not a lot of gain left. I'm at 213, so it's going to trigger. It looks like it may trigger, but I will tell you this. So I sold half, I actually sold 2/3 of it just before coming on. And what I think is going to happen to Tesla is I think Tesla has already hit 220-ish. All right, let me go here. Tesla has already hit 220-ish. As we could see here, Tesla hit 220 and it bounced back and it's in a downward trend right now. I believe Tesla could actually go down to about 190, right? Some people will say 195. Some people will say 195 to 185. I'm looking at around 190-ish to where Tesla can fall back down to. So some of you that are risky, some of you that are brave, you may consider doing put options or whatever. Myself, if Tesla goes back down to 190, then I'm going to start buying back in. And when I say 190, I mean 190-ish, okay? So if it gets to 191, let's be real good people. I am already going to start DCAing back in. And remember, we have to trade the market that we are in. So just because something happens today doesn't mean that it is set for the entire year or the entire month. But just remember, my $5 a day DCA, for all of you that are following that never stops, all right? I want to be clear with that. Now, let's discuss, is this market going to end higher or lower this year, all right, in Q4? So I want you guys to listen to this.
But, at some point, 2024, is it recession or is it just you just don't see a lot of market upside from here?
No, I don't want to get over my skis, but all signs seem to me to be pointing towards a recession. Folks want long rates to peak, including me. But the problem is when long rates peak, it's great for bond investors. It's not so great for stock investors.
Sure.
Bond rates don't peak for good reasons. They peak for kind of scary reasons. The economy is slowing, and stocks tend to follow yields downward. Back in 2000, the bond rates peaked in February, and then the stocks peaked 7 weeks later. In 2007, the same thing happened. So I expect both peaks to be coming in the relatively near future, and that scares me. And I'm not calling for Armageddon, but I am cautious.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spare you from playing another video of a gentleman that says he expects a bounce in Q4. He expects us to end higher, the S&P much higher. And so he sees this as a buying opportunity. So it's all over the place. And these guys are the professionals. So what do you and I do? We trade the market that we're in. You heard the gentleman mention bonds, and he said that they were both starting to peak. But as you could see, a lot of people are talking about bonds, fixed income now, because if you can get 4.5 to 5%, then that's a safety. And I may look into that. I may look into that, but I'm erring on the side of caution. And so that's why I put a stop loss on this Tesla that you guys saw me buy the other day. Now, my Tesla in my DCA, a lot of people ask that. You could put a stop loss on it in your DCA, but the DCAing that I've been doing for years now, I'll be honest with you, I don't have stop losses on those because I am mostly dry powder. And if the market does tank, I am going to buy big chunks, right? So I'm just letting you guys know what I'm doing. And then we have Meta that's supposed to report today at closing bell, all signs point to them not having a good earnings, okay? So look at the last 5 days. The market is showing you that it doesn't not trust good earnings for Meta. Now, does that mean that Meta's earnings are not going to be good? Absolutely not. This happens all of the time. So what do? I make money by doing this, looking at the trend and shorting. And even today, here it is right there. It is going down, right? And you guys know I'm buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm out. All right, let's keep it going. Let's go to Bitcoin. As we could see, Bitcoin is still yet killing it. Look at that year to date. All right, let's just look at Bitcoin up 2% today. This week up 16%, right? This month up 31%. And year to date, Bitcoin is killing it, 108%. Let's look at some of the reasons why.
Either.
It's highly liquid. 76% hasn't been sold in the last year. 56% hasn't been sold in the last 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
And really what we saw, what drove Bitcoin's price from that $3,000 bottom to $69,000, I mean 23x in about 3 years, is that there was a supply and a demand shock. And we had printing of money, low interest rates, and we also got the halving. We look like we're headed right back to that. Right now we do have high interest rates and they're trying not to print money. But we have a $33.5 trillion debt. They're trying to fund 2 proxy wars. We have the southern border issue. We've got all sorts of inflation they're still trying to combat. And so what's likely to happen here is that they're going to have to return to loose monetary policy. When they do that, it is likely to coincide with the Bitcoin halving.
But near term, just talking about the ETF, you've got nothing has happened in the last 3 weeks to indicate it's any closer?
Well, I definitely think that it's closer, right? I mean,
because 3 weeks went by.
Well, 3 weeks went by, but also BlackRock is now going and they're seeding the fund.
They're seeding the fund in October, which is new?
Correct. And so they just amended the application. And so really what you're just seeing is they're getting prepared for the approval. The big question is, are they going to just
Do they know anything? They may know nothing either.
They may know nothing, but I don't think that BlackRock is going to go through all this effort, right? Remember, there's reputation risk here in terms of people know what they're doing. And so it's much more likely that it's going to get approved.
Do you need a different change on who's in charge? I mean, you've got 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans, right? Is that we had one of the Republicans on that, and she said, I have no idea why. It makes no sense it hasn't been approved yet. But that doesn't mean that she's going to convince her colleagues.
At the end of the day, Bitcoin doesn't care about the politics of it all, right? Now, the SEC and other organizations definitely care. Well, here's the thing is Bitcoin is just highly, highly disciplined, right? It is the most disciplined central bank in the world. It doesn't care what's going on in the news. It doesn't care about geopolitics. It just produces block after block of transactions.
But the price of Bitcoin does. The price of Bitcoin cares very much about what happens.
Bitcoin's up 100% to start this year, right? And I don't think a lot of people kind of recognize that because they remember it was at 69,000. It drew down to 15, but it's up 100% to start the year. And so when you look at that, the market is obviously telling us something. And what we're watching is capital is flowing.
Someone's calling it a flight to quality. You've
Not
seen that.
someone, Larry Fink. Right? Larry Fink.
Versus.
So you guys heard that. So I did buy a Bitcoin. You guys know I've been DCAing like I told you earlier in the year. Yeah, earlier in the year. So I have one of my Bitcoin I bought at 25, right? It's like 25 2-ish right now when I DCA'd. And as you could see, it's up greatly, you know. So, you know, people are up that bought in 25. You go from 25 to 35. That's a $10,000 bounce. And whether you like crypto or not, whether you understand crypto or not, the numbers don't lie. Up 108% this year. And so I'm not telling you to buy it, Bitcoin, for those of you that don't understand it. But this number right here, this 108%, it does not lie. And so that's why for those of you that are into the other coins, I've been buying some SHIB. I'll show you that. But the SHIB is 1/20th the amount, 1/25th the amount that I'm buying in SHIB that I have in Bitcoin. Remember, big tech, or should I say big cap, big money, small cap, small money. Big coins, layer ones, bigger money, you know, crap coins and altcoins, small money, all right? Unless you're a gambler. You guys let me know, all right? So I'm going to leave it right there, good people. Hey, make sure you check out the squad tonight, okay? We're going to be over there on Stocks with Josh's page. And then make sure you check out all the links below. Stock Up You, and then the Stock Squad. Those will be the top 2 links. And pray that I have a voice tonight when the Stock Squad gets together. We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.